And a very good evening, everybody, and welcome into another edition of the Hockey Night on Broad Flyers pregame show. Tonight, the Philadelphia Flyers take on the Los Angeles Kings as they meet up for the first time this season and trying to avoid a four-game losing streak for the first time, going back to the beginning parts of the season. A very good evening, everybody. I'm your host, James Scorza, with you for another edition of Hockey Night on Broad as the Flyers, coming into this game tonight, had a real good couple games here and there, but the disappointed is that the Flyers have not looked very well the last three games, and last night was no different against the Detroit Red Wings. So without further ado, let's get on with excuse me, just one sec, there we go. Let's check out the recap of the previous game like we always do on this very important program. So early on for the Flyers had the advantage and took advantage of it in the first minute of the game. And we'll get a response from Travis Konecny to give the Flyers an early 1-0 lead just early on just a minute into the game. Later on in the first period, the Flyers' stellar performance by Sam Ersson was a majority of the first period was a real good tall task for the Red Wings, but Sam Ersson stopped a majority of the Red Wings shots in that first period. But the big story was that little bit of careless penalties by the Philadelphia Flyers, and that was the big storyline all game long. And Detroit will get the response they need right there, and the goal for Detroit to tie the game up at one apiece early on, or at the halfway point, at the midway. No, I'm sorry, that was at the thing was at towards the end of the first period, and that game would, and then the score would tie up, and there'll be a 1-1 tie at the end of 20. So to the second we go, the Flyers looking to try to get a response, but the difference is it was Detroit on the other side of the ice looking very sharp as well. As early on in the second, at the halfway point of the second period, as the Flyers the Red Wings got a breakaway chance to give Detroit a 2-1 lead, and they will find it with Patrick Kane setting up Alex DeBrincat to give Detroit a 2-1 lead. Just a few seconds later, Detroit taking the lead after the Flyers try to get a response, and they will find one in this one around, like I said, around the halfway point of the second period, as this one was from Noah Cates tying the game up at two apiece. Inside the second period, around the 4-minute mark of the second stanza, as this time the Red Wings looking to try to get another response, and we'll find it right there. And that was Michael Rasmussen will get credit for the goal. And J.D. Comfort was on a setup pass by J.D. Comfort on a draw to give the Red Wings a 3-2 Red Wings lead. As just a few seconds later, the Flyers flat-footed on this kind of play. It was a little bit disappointing for them, but a majority of them, a melee pursued, and the Flyers got caught flat-footed, like I mentioned, and Detroit will get another one, as the Red Wings will make it a 4-2. Make it a 4-2 Red Wings lead after 40. Early on in the third, the Flyers had the opportunity to try to get back the lead, and the Flyers would try to get a goal. The Flyers will try to get a goal, as they would do so, as Ryan Poehling will make it a 4-3 lead in favor of the Red Wings. Just 2 minutes later, the Flyers deficit, and as this time it was Owen Tippett going around the ice, and he would go from end to end and forehand, backhand, and will get the equalizer, tying the score up at 4 apiece. But the big story was to try to keep momentum in this game, but unfortunately the Flyers had some opportunities, but the difference was it was Patrick Kane on his night, and after nearly 2 decades scoring goals against the Flyers, he will get credit for another one, this time to make it a 5-4 Detroit lead, and Detroit will get an empty netter, and that's how it was. So the Flyers will lose this one 6-4, the final, up at Little Caesars Arena last night in Detroit, Michigan. All right, let's get into our key matchups of the game like we always do for this game tonight. Majority of it's basically the same priority, has been a reminder for the Flyers overall. And the fair share of inconsistent and consistency has been a real tall test for them against good and bad teams. But tonight against the Los Angeles Kings should be a tall task for the Philadelphia Flyers, and it should be a challenge for them, especially for the young orange and black. But leading the way is the presence of Anze Kopitar, who has 31 points on this season and leads the team with 27 assists, and Adrian Kempe leads the Kings with goals at 16 towards the halfway point of this sorry about that. I'm just trying to think about it. I guess it's the halfway point of the before the season. As for the Los Angeles Kings themselves, they are fourth in the Western Conference right now and 18-9-4 on this record this season, and second behind the Vegas Golden Knights, who has 20 wins on this season. As they look to try to, as this will be a tall task again tonight for the Flyers if they want to get closer and closer. So let's go to who's trending up and who's trending down on this very important night, as this is a really good reminder for the Flyers that this night will be a big disappointment for the Flyers, obviously. They take on good teams against the Kings, and they never do well against, like I said, don't do very well against maybe Eastern Conference and Western Conference teams. So I would see pretty much the same here tonight. I advise the Flyers to get on them early, like my colleague Joey Marks brought up on the post game last night, and also pay dividends when it matters the most, and always try to get off to a real good start and get on their throat very, very early. And for who's trending up, who's for trending down, rather, the Flyers didn't expect much of what their top tier. The Flyers are very concerning for the most part against top tier talent, but has a reminder all season long that another reminder that you have to beat the teams when you have to face in your schedule, and regardless of records, and sometimes they have a better effort after losing a game the night before. So I'm pretty much advising the same thing that would happen here tonight against the Kings. Let's go to that's who's trending up and who's trending down, and let's go to our injuries and scratches. As last night, it was the same as it was last night. Nick Delorier is still out with the upper body injury. Cam York is a healthy scratch tonight. He is not in the lineup, but Emil Andre back in the lineup tonight for the Flyers. Like I said before, Ivan Fedotov injured still, and Eric Johnson is going to miss his 12th straight game tonight, as he is still, I guess, a healthy scratch for them as well. So that's going to be something to look forward to in this matchup tonight, to see what Emil Andre comes back in the lineup. And I think this will be a game for Cam York to do, just to get his body right, and also to try to do whatever he can to get just to get away from. I wouldn't say get away from the game, but just do something that will be a little bit of a reminder, as to try to do whatever you can do, I think he was a healthy scratch early on in this season, so I guess it's going to be another case here tonight for the Flyers as well. And let's check out our starting goaltender matchup for this matchup tonight between the Flyers and Kings. In goal tonight for the Flyers, it will be Alexei Kolosov, who is 4-5-1 this season, and has a goals against average of 3.05. And for the Kings, it will be Darcy Kemper in goal tonight for the LA Kings tonight, and who is 7-2-4 this season, and has a goals against average of 2.71. So, like I said, this is an ESPN Plus game tonight, so I would advise everybody, if you are tuning into the game, it's not on national. It's on basically on ESPN Plus tonight, so it's not on NBC Sports Philadelphia tonight, so it will be. I'm trying to do whatever I can and try to demonstrate it, to understand about it, because some of these games on ESPN Plus they're a little bit of a handful, because especially what the circumstances is. But like I said, that will be that's the channel to go to tonight if you're looking forward to this game tonight. It's on ESPN Plus. All right, let's check out finally our predictions for this game here tonight. The predictions. I don't think this will be a little bit of a this will be hard for me to talk about because I know the Flyers are playing their best, not playing their best hockey, but they're playing consistent hockey. So I say this could be a game that the Flyers might have to lose tonight because the Kings are, on the other hand, second in the conference, and they do whatever they can to make sure the priority is. So for me, I think the Kings will win tonight. I think that's the big top priority for this game here tonight, and just keep a close eye out for Anze Kopitar and also Adrian Kempe and even like Drew Doughty as well along the way as well. So that's going to be a good reminder about this game tonight. So I say I don't expect the Flyers to lose, but if they have to lose a game, it might be again tonight against a very good LA Kings team. All right, that's going to wrap up here. So that is a wrap for the Hockey Night on Board Flyers pregame show. Remember to stay tuned after the game for the Third Line John Flyers postgame show right here on Stream Punk Entertainment. And also, if you are on Facebook, you're on Twitter, you're on all your social media platforms, stay tuned after the game for the Third Line John postgame show on Stream Punk Entertainment to recap this game alongside Pat Bernard and his good friend Pavel. Will recap this game as immediately as the game goes final. So that is a wrap for here. So thanks a lot for joining me tonight. Again, like I said, that is a ESPN Plus game. I will be back again on Saturday night when the Flyers take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. That will be the last game of the 2024 home slate until 2025. Until then, thanks a lot for joining me tonight. This has been the Hockey Night on Board Flyers pregame show. Thanks a lot for joining me tonight, and we will see you next time.